What is going on, Crimson City? My name is Crimson CBAD, and in today's video, guys, we're going to be discussing our team builder going into week 3 of the GBA against Cooper Koshiro and the Utah Jasmine. I'll be sure to link Cooper's channel in the description so you can check out their side of the video for the team building, for the battle as well, going up tomorrow. So if you guys are excited, be sure to leave a like on this video, as let me know after the fact your thoughts on the team in the comment section down below. And with all that being said, let's hop right into this. Alright, so, like I saw from the feedback last week, you guys were enjoying when I put their teams up on the screen so you guys can see when I break it down. So I will be putting on his team will be on the screen right about now. Cooper does have a very, very interesting team, very, very threatening as well. He's bringing Manaphy, base 100s across the board, hydration, access to tail glow. I don't need to say anything else, I really don't. Zapdos, very nice mon, very bulky mon potentially, 125 base special attack and 100 base speed. Two things to keep in mind: that it does have a very specially offensive threat like Zapdos, as well as a very fast Pokemon that can also be ran very bulky. It does have stabs that are either immune or resist a lot of the stabs that I have on my team. So something to keep in mind. Another thing just to note as well, if he does bring the Zapdos early on, if we can tell if it has pressure when it comes in, if it shows that pressure, it's exerting that pressure. If he does have that, he's bringing a defog set. If we do not see the pressure, he's bringing Static Zapdos. Static Zapdos does not have access to defog. So, fun fact for all you battlers out there, if you did not know that, now you know. He can bring Reuniclus. He 110 base HP, 125 special attack, 75 defense, 85 special defense, Overcoat, Magic Guard, and Regen. Magic Guard and Regen, two very, very impressive and very good abilities in League format. Overcoat as well. I don't have any mons that he could really use on with Overcoat, but that is something that something to keep in mind for that it does have access to. But Magic Guard or Regen are the two abilities I say bringing. Hippowdon, 108 HP, 112 attack, 118 special defense. Special defense 72, not really too much there. So it tank hits and it can hit like a truck. It does have Sandstream or Sand Force. Sand Force if he decides to not bring Sand to hinder down his own team, as well as keeping, but that would sacrifice some special defensive bulk because the Sand wouldn't be up. But, like I said, if he did bring it, I would see like a Sand Force. Not too much of his team appreciates Sand, especially that residual chip damage. He does have Breloom. Breloom, I swear to God, is one of the... Breloom is so annoying. Breloom is like one of my biggest fears in draft format. He has two Pokemon back-to-back that are two of the biggest fears in draft format for me. Breloom, 130 base special attack, 70 speed, so like a decent speed. Effects for Poison Heal and Technician. Effects for I don't see ran too much. Poison Heal can be crucial if he does run a bulkier set. Technician Bullet Seed, Technician Mach Punch, Technician Aerial Ace, Technician Rock Tomb. I mean, this thing's crazy. I don't know if it gets Aerial Ace. Either way, Technician Rock Tomb, Technician Bullet Seed, Technician Mach Punch. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This thing's a nightmare. It has Stab that can actually destroy my team. So we got to be careful about that. We do have answers for it, but we do have to be careful about that. I hate Breloom. I hate Breloom so much. Darmanitan. Here's another Pokemon that I hate dealing with in draft format, because what's a switch into Darmanitan? If you guys missed the transaction video, I'll be sure to have that in a card or at the end screen of this video so you guys can check that out. But we did pick up a mon that I think will check Slowbro kind of well. 105 base HP, 140 base special attack, 95 base speed, sheer force. Oh my god, it's so bad. It's so bad. Bad against any draft format and bad against any team in draft format. Flare Blitz, U-turn, pick 2 more moves, honestly. That's what you need for Scarf Darmanitan. There you go. I'm planning on a Scarf Darmanitan. That's the set people bring is Scarf Darmanitans. Cooper's very unpredictable sometimes, but you can't plan for the unpredictability, so you have to plan for the predictableness and then kind of work around it. So, Scrafty, another team. Fighting types are super good against our team. Scrafty is really huge because a lot of his mons either... So, Breloom has Grass Stab, so we'll get into the team and you guys will see why I say that. I picked one mon, and then the next mon, we kind of build around it. But, Scrafty, 90 base attack, 115 base special, defense, 115 base special defense, Shedskin, Moxie, and Intimidate. 3 really, really good abilities in draft format. Shedskin shrugs off any sort of status ailments. Moxie gives him attack boost after he picks up the KO. Intimidate drops my attack stage by 1 on the switch in. So, absolutely, I mean, Dragon Dance setup sweeper. It can be like a coil. It can be like a Restox setup set. Very, very bad. Klefki. We do have kind of some mons to deal with Klefki because the Prankster nerf with Dark types in Gen 7, but Klefki can be very hazardous to us if it's able to set up screens, set up hazards, go for player ups, Thunderwave my mon, stuff like that. Not too worried about that though. We do have, obviously we drafted Crocodile. Crocodile kind of looks at Klefki and says, haha. Cloyster we have seen Cooper do very well with in this season. Cloyster with the skill link ability. 180 base defense. I mean, this thing can take some hits. This thing can deal out some hits. I believe we saw him bring a Scarf variety early on in the season. I can't recall. But Cloister is something to keep in mind of. It does have some pretty decent coverage. Ice Shard, Ice Sickle Spear, Rock Blast, things like that to go inside with the skill link. It can be a Shell Smash Sweeper if we don't play our cards right. Comfy. Comfy's another mon. Oh my goodness. 110 special defense, 100 base speed. Comfy has 100 base speed, 82 base special attack, with access to Triage, which prioritizes healing moves. So again, oh my gosh, he has a lot of priority on his team, which can make for a tricky thing. And then of course Swellow. Swellow has 125 base speed. Guts and Scrappy, again, two phenomenal moves in League format. If he does bring Swellow, we need to figure out if he's physical or special, and then work around it accordingly. Its tag is 85, special attack is 75, nothing too crazy, but because of its speeds here, it does give him access to run things like specs on Swellow if need be. So, all that being said, let's get into our team. Our team, first off here, we're bringing our team captain, Crocodile, aka Crocodilius, rocking that Darkinium Z, Moxie ability, Taunt, Earthquake, Crunch, and Stone Edge. Let me take a look here. 36 HP, 252 attack, 220 in speed with the Adamant Nature. We do outspeed Klefki. We will be able to outspeed Cloister as well with this. But looking at this, if he does bring a max speed Jolly, or max speed nature boosting, speed boosting nature Klefki, we do outspeed that thing. Taunt is going to be nice for the Klefki. Taunt is also nice for Manaphy if he thinks we're going to go for a switch. Goes for a Tail Glow. Defog Zapdos if he does bring it. Reuniclus if he decides to set up Calm Minds, although I don't think he'd keep this thing in on me unless he's bringing Focus Blast or Energy Ball coverage. Good for Scrafty if he decides to sweet up. Then again, Fighting types destroy your team. But Taunt is there just in case. Earthquake and Crunch for stab. I was gonna bring Knockoff, but nothing too crazy on his team. Like, is super knockoff weak. Like, Reuniclus kind of takes a Colbur Berry and eats it, or like recovers it back. So Knockoff's not doing too much. As well as the Darkinium Z into Crunch, I figured was a good thing. We'll see how well that works out this week. But Crunch can also get defense traps on things as well if he does decide to bring an Acid Armor Reuniclus. Stone Edge is going to be there to be able to hit the Zapdos. It's also going to be able to hit Swellow as well, in case he should bring in case we can tank a hit. Nothing too crazy about Crocodile this week. Next up here, we've got our Slowbro. Now, this is what I was talking about with our counter to Darmanitan. Breloom, Darmanitan, and Scrafty do not appreciate Slowbro because the Rocky Helmets, the defensive bulk, the access to Scald Burn them, obviously having super effective damage on the Darmanitan. We can also Psyshock a Breloom. Breloom has Grass Stab, kind of blows back Slowbro. Darmanitan gets X's U-Turn, kind of blows back Slowbro. Scrafty gets it, Dark Stab, kind of blows back Slowbro. So this was really our defensive check against his three physical threats this week. Scald, Psyshock, Toxic, and Light Screen. Toxic damage, if we can get things off on things like Zapdos, on things like Hippowdon. If he's not bringing a Poison Heal Breloom, that would be very nice as well. Toxic pretty much on anything on his team just to kind of whittle it down. He doesn't. His only Cleric is Comfy if he chooses to bring it. Light Screen is interesting. We'll talk about that in pairing with our next Mon coming up here. There is a little bit of a scheme here if we can get it to work. But Light Screen does nerf if Manaphy does get a Tail Glow up. We're able to kind of switch into things a little bit more easily. Take it if we can predict his attacks better. If we're going to predict his attacks better. If we can make good, solid predictions against his Manaphy behind a Light Screen, we should be able to take advantage of that momentum. Nothing too crazy here. 244 HP to have an odd number, max defense, bold, 12 special attack, rocking the Rocky Helmet, just so we can get chip damage off the Darmanitan. With the spread, U-Turn is doing also less than 33 or around 33% if he's a Jolly Scarfer, and then we can shrug that off with a Regenerator and switch out. So it's getting damage off on him as we're recovering the damage up on the switch. So next up here, Choice Specs Curum, Blue Eyes White Dragon, Draco Meteor, Earth Power, Ice Beam, and Shadow Ball. 196 in speed, we are outspeeding again Klefki. Draco Meteor for the devastating stab. Earth Power to touch the Klefki. Ice Beam is very spammable against his team once Manaphy is gone, and I don't think he'll bring Cloister. We can also kind of gauge the damage on Klefki if he's a more physical variant or a special defensive variant. Shadow Ball against the Reuniclus. Shadow Ball does have a chance for the Spadef drop, so for 1v1ing a Reuniclus in any chance, we can go for Shadow Ball. I believe it's a 2 or 3 hit KO depending on when he comes in on the switch, depending on his spread as well. Choice Specs Modest Draco Meteor. Absolutely, like, his switch-in is Klefki as the immunity, and then what else? So, even behind screens, this thing does, if he does bring, like, a screening Klefki, even behind screens, this thing does a tremendous amount of damage. I cannot stress that enough. Choice Specs Curum. One of the things I was talking about with Light Screen is that if we do get the Light Screen up with Slowbro, bring this thing in on Manaphy, I mean, again, Klefki's got to be out of the way, but pick your sack to a Choice Specs Draco Meteor, to be completely honest with you. This thing hits absolutely hard. Like I said, we do outspeed the Klefki. Anything underneath that speed tier, we do outspeed that as well. Next up here, we do have Serena. Again, defensive Serena. Defensive Serena kind of puts in work. I'm sorry, a lot of people were hating on it. I love Serena. Queenly Majesty. Queenly Majesty. This is my Breloom check right here. I hate Breloom. We talked about this. I hate Breloom. Rapid Spin to get rid of hazards. Hazards are going to be crucial. I feel like if he does bring hazards, they'll be crucial. It's 25% to cure him. It's 25% to Tornadoes. You guys can see I'm bringing the Tornadoes. You guys see it on the screen. I don't want hazards up just in case. That chip damage and me switching around a lot, especially with, you'll see we have 2 choice users. With that kind of, I don't want the hazard there. I just don't want them there. Trop Kick for the stab. Trop Kick's going to hurt the Manaphy. Trop Kick's going to hurt the Hippowdon. Trop Kick is also going to hurt the Cloyster. Play Rough. Play Rough does have a chance to Oko Breloom after, after Rocks. Yes, we are bringing Rocks. I was like, we're not bringing Rocks, are we? We are bringing Rocks. It does have a chance to Oko Breloom after Rocks. There's any pre-existing damage on it. It does also take its Mach Punch and says no, no thank you. It also takes Klefki's Thunder Waves, obviously, and it says no thank you. It can still set up spikes and screens, unfortunately. I wish this thing got Brick Break. Oh my god, perfect Klefki counter right here. Brick Break and like hidden Power Ground or something. I don't know. So Mach Punch is no longer a thing. Breloom can't really touch us. I don't believe it gets air release. I don't believe it gets air release. If it does, whatever. We U-turn out or we play rough. We outspeed also Breloom, I believe. Yes, we naturally outspeed Breloom, so you'd have to be running outspeed to get enough damage off. We go for a play rough, possibly get the attack drop on it as well, blah, blah, blah. U-turn, we do have a slow U-turn here. 72 base speed, we do have a nice speed tier for getting slow U-turns on switches as well, giving us more of the momentum. Trop Kick, like I said, Play Rough also Oko's the Scrafty, which is nice to keep in mind. Like I said, it takes Comfy, and it takes Breloom, and it takes Scrafty, or excuse me, Klefki's priority, and says no thank you. Pretty solid right there. Like I said, defensive to deal with Breloom, defensive to deal with a physical Klefki, and kind of, like I said, shrugs off the Thunder Wave, shrugs off the Mach Punches, shrugs off the Draining Kisses from Comfy if he should bring it. So, next up here, Super War Lion put in a ton of work last week, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. We're bringing a Choice Scarf Variant of Cobalion, Stealth Rock, Close Combat, Stone Edge, Volt Switch, 252 attack, 60 special attack, 196 speed with a naive nature. Why 168 speed with a Scarf Chase? I'm glad you asked, viewer. If he brings a Scarf Zapdos for whatever reason, we outspeed that, hit it with a Stone Edge. Also, we can put on chip damage against the Manaphy if he goes for a Z Rain Dance, which not only sets up the rain for Manaphy's hydration, but also gives him a +1 speed boost. So that's why I wanted to hit 168 with a Scarf. We could put more special attack investment if he's not, if we wanted to just go for regular Scarfs. But we're going to see how that works. Stealth Rocks, like I said, if we do want to get him up against the Zapdos, as well as if he does bring the Swallow, if he does bring the Cloyster, if he does bring the Darmanitan, it's going to be nice to have. Like I said, also, his forms of Rapid Spin do not exist, and then he does have Zapdos. If it's not Pressure Zapdos, Rocks will be nice. Close Combat, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt the Manaphy. It's gonna hurt the Scrafty. It's gonna hurt the Darmanitan. Stone Edge, it's gonna hurt the Zapdos. It's gonna hurt the Darmanitan. It's gonna hurt the Scrafty. It's gonna hurt the it's gonna hurt Swallow. Swallow's normal flying. Volt Switch also for the Switch initiative. If he doesn't bring Hippowdon, we can freely bring this thing in for chip damage. Volt Switch off and figure out a better turn of attack. If he does bring the Swallow, Volt Switch does have a chance to Oko the Swallow with this special attack investments. I didn't want to give more in special attacks. I wanted as much damage off on Stone Edge and Close Combat as possible. But that's pretty much that. Swallow is very interesting. I do, this has a 25% chance to Oko Swallow from full. So we're gonna play that by ear. We're gonna play that by ear. Close Combat does Oko. Volt Switch has a chance to Oko. So we're gonna see how that goes. Last but not least, we do have a. I like this Tornado set a lot. Kazagen here is coming back with the Life Orb. Hurricane, U-Turn, Tailwind, and Dark Pulse. 212 in speed. We are outspeeding Zapdos and Manaphy by 1 point. Max Special Attack, Modest. I brought Hurricane because if he does bring the rain with Manaphy. Modest Hurricanes from a Life Orb Tornadoes. Just, again, pick your switch. U-Turn for the Switch Initiative. Tailwind because if we can get a Tailwind up behind Specs Kyurem, and start firing off Ice Beam, start firing off... Like a Choice Specs Dracos, even after the drop, guys, are stupid. Again, pick your switch in. Dark Pulse for the stab. Dark Pulse hits the Reuniclus. Dark Pulse hits the Zapdos for neutral. We can get flinches off if need be. But pretty standard. We kind of 36 in HP. Gives us 159 HP. Life Orb is only doing 15 as opposed to 16. Pokemon rounds down in numbers. So if it does 10% as 15.9, wouldn't you round up to 16? No, Pokemon drops it. Solid Integers goes with 15. So then we just put the other HP, or the EVs in defense and special defense so we get the most from our Life Orb, being able to fire off as much damage as possible. All that being said, guys, that is going to be our team builder. Like I said, going up against Cooper Koshiro and the Utah Jasmine. Make sure to go check out Cooper's channel, not only for the battle, but for the video as well. Let me know your thoughts on this team in the comment section down below. I really like this team this week. It's going to be a lot of playing weirdly on our part, being able to make reads and stuff. Cooper plays very safe, but also has some very unpredictable sets, as we've seen in the past. So we're gonna do our best. We're gonna do our best this week. We got a big win last week. We are 1-1 right now. This is another divisional match, so we're gonna see how we do. If you guys have enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like on this video, showing your support for the Detroit Steel Wings. Show your support for the Detroit Steel Wings, guys. That's all I'm saying. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the battle tomorrow, as well as future GBA uploads. All that being said, guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. I want to remind you to be great and do great. I'm gonna let this outro bang, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Later.